Alright folks, welcome back to the Land Rover workshop. We've got a galvanised chassis, got some gearbox mounts, or transfer box mounts. That'll probably be the first thing to get bolted on. So yeah, back from galvanising just yesterday. I'm going to get it set up on some blocks. And this evening I'm going to start bolting a few bits and pieces on. I guess this is where it all starts. Well, obviously I've already done quite a lot of work, but this is where the main bit begins. So yeah, I'll maybe set up a time lapse and you can watch me bolt some bits of metal together. Yeah, I've also got this, where's my torch? Here it is. On the way here, on the Disco 3, bloody thermostat decided to blow up. So I've just ordered a thermostat body for that. So definitely a Land Rover workshop at the moment. Okay, I'm done for tonight. I was only supposed to be here for an hour, and I've been here for about 2-3 hours, so time just goes by so quick. I was messing around with the Disco for a while, sorting other things out before I even started recording, so yeah, I have put the gearbox mounts in. I tried putting that centre cross member in, rightly or wrongly, but I need to get a leg jack to prise the chassis apart and fit that in. I can't put the engine mounts on because I forgot to put bolts in there. So I need to, and it's got galvanised in the thread, so I need to get a tap and die set. Where are the engine mounts? They're around here somewhere. Yeah, so that's it for tonight. Where are the engine mounts gone? Oh, they're still bolted to the engine, look. They're on there. I'll also take that engine mount off as well and paint that because it's going rusty. Okay, I'm back. So I've got a few more parts to put on now. I've got some suspension parts. I've got some more bolts so we can put in that. And I've got a jack as well so we can put that cross member in. I've just been using this tap to tap these holes out for the engine mounts so we can bolt the engine mounts on now. So yeah, I'll put you back on time lapse again and we'll bolt some more pieces on. Alright, so we've made progress this evening. Got the front axle on. I've just got to, yeah, this bar here needs to go bolt to the axle and then the other end goes to the chassis to stop it moving from side to side. And I won't be able to put the engine in until I've got that bar in. But I need to work out. I've got a feeling there's a plate that should bolt on here that bar goes to. I'm just gonna have to look at some pictures and find out. Yeah, just been putting the bushes in this trailing arm, ready to put the rear axle on. Rear axle is there, ready to go. So yeah, just making progress. I had me a bit of rope on there earlier, as you probably saw, to stop it. The whole thing was just trying to tip forward, so I tied the chassis to the door, as you do. So yeah, we're getting somewhere. Another evening I'm just going to spend on building this project. I'd much rather be doing this than sat indoors watching TV. It's currently peeing it down with rain outside right now. It's miserable out there. I don't know how well you can see out there. Absolutely miserable. So, right, we got the front axle on. I mentioned before putting this bar on, didn't I? So that goes in there like that, and then there's a bracket that comes down. It bolts on here, I think. There's a bracket that comes down, and then the end of that goes in there. And I'll show you on my phone on the screen now. I think it was about £700 for a brand new bracket. So that part is going to have to wait until I get the donor vehicle, until I get the Defender. So I read that wrong actually. It's £709 for a left-hand drive bracket and £240 for a right-hand drive bracket. So although £240 is a lot less than £709, it still seems silly to pay £240 for a bracket that I'm going to get on the donor vehicle anyway. I'm going to buy a Defender, preferably TD5 because it's a TD5 chassis, and preferably with a rotten out chassis, but there's not many of those around these days. And then transfer all the bodywork and everything onto this chassis. So that's the plan. So yeah, until I get the donor vehicle and get that bracket, I'm just going to have to temporarily bodge it so that I can put the engine and that in. I think if I put the engine and gearbox in at the moment, it won't be stable enough. What was the other thing? Tonight we're going to put the back axle on. I'm going to start off by, well, bolting on some shock mounts which go on there. Bump stops, axle bump stops. We've got to bolt them on the chassis. Things like that. We've got some shiny trailing arms. Oh yeah, the other thing that I'm going to have to wait until I get off the donor vehicle is the A-frame. I'll show you in a picture. There's an A-frame that goes from here down to the rear axle, and it keeps the axle upright and keeps it all in line. So that's another piece that we'll have to wait until we get the donor vehicle. Right, we now officially have a rolling chassis. I can actually move it around. I've put the steering rod on just to keep the wheels parallel. I need to put new ball joints on the steering rod. I need to reseal these steering joints here. I need to reseal the rear axle, jobs like that. I need to I'm going to get some bigger tyres for it, and these wheels are actually different to those ones, but I've got two more of those ones here, so we're going to use those ones and put the new tyres on them. So yeah, that's what I set out to achieve this winter / spring. There was a rolling chassis, and that's what I've done. I need to try and put this in the next video. I'm going to try and put this panhard rod on to stop this side to side movement, and then we can put the engine and gearbox in and maybe run it up, because I haven't actually even run that engine yet myself. I've only seen a video of it running. So yeah, I probably spotted there's some bolts sticking out here. I still need to, I'm going to take that centre cross member back out, because the bolts can't go right the way through because I've welded that on there. So I'm going to take that cross member back out, weld some nuts, tack some nuts on the inside of the chassis, and then put some short bolts through there to bolt that on. So I'm going to do that before I put the engine in. So yeah, I'm chuffed. I'm really pleased with it actually. I'll probably end up using the brake calipers off the donor vehicle's axles, because these are twin pipe, and I've never seen twin pipes before, only single pipe ones. If anybody's wondering what these cones are that I put in the rear springs, they're dislocation cones, so that when we're off-road articulating, the axle drops right down, because these are long travel dampeners, shocks. The spring will drop down out of here, and then when it goes back in, those dislocation cones, they point the spring in the right direction basically and get it seated back in properly. So yeah, right. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one when we put the engine in. I got the disco going again. Fixed that thermostat housing. It was only £26 for the part, so yeah, put that on, filled it up with coolant. She's running like a dream, but my mate's got one of them for sale. It's been off the road for a year, parked up, broken transfer box, so I'm tempted to buy that just to use it as spare parts for this one, because no doubt it'll probably break down again soon.